Tube Universe. What is going on, all my Hitman and Harley Quinns? You know who it is. It's your favorite mother freaking role model, the Buddhist. Who's with an attitude, aka Mr. Wonderful Hitman Thornton for Raw Reaction T Vizzle. What's going on, people? Yes, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Like I've told you many times before, don't sleep on my end. Always busy, got a lot of stuff going on. You know, work slash that job keeps me busy. Got projects I'm working on. So yeah. And yes, I've been slacking on my reviews. So let's just get right to it. Enough talking. A Quiet Place. You know, written and directed by John Krasinski. If y'all remember him, Jim from The Office. It always seems interesting that a lot of these comedic type actors, Jordan Peele, John Krasinski, whenever they get into the acting chair, they kill it. They kill it. It's just like when you get stuntmen who become directors when they're directing action movies, and the action's always mwah, because they know how to show the action, right? And it's just the same thing, Damn. I'm amped up on coffee this morning. Say, yeah. So bear with me. Amping. So just like when you get with the comedic type actors who do, especially like dark suspense stuff, because they know what they're doing, you know, especially being actors themselves. So they know what to showcase, you know. And with this one, you know, like I said, I was a big fan of the first movie. And everyone's back, except for that kid who was playing with the toy in the first movie. Boy, you knew better. Come on now. Then again, parenting in the apocalypse. Come on, people. Let's get with the program. Watch it. Get your kids. You know, so anyway, John Krasinski, he's back. He's directing. His wifey, Emily Blunt, did a phenomenal job. The children are back too. Millicent Simmons, who plays the deaf girl, who is deaf in real life. I didn't know that. Researched that after the first movie came out. And Noah Jupe, the other son who plays her brother. They both back. And this looks like this one is focusing on them more than the mom, Emily Blunt's character. And I mean, she's not necessarily pushed to the side, but she's more like in the background a little bit. She's still there, has a presence, showing, you know, doing her thing. But it looks like it's more focused on the kids this time. And they did a phenomenal job. Millicent Simmons, I see an Oscar down the road for her, straight up, representing, you know, the deaf community, and phenomenal job. And John did a phenomenal job directing. Just know how to accentuate certain tensions and, you know, atmosphere of tension, suspense, you know, it going silent in certain parts of the movie, describing what the girl, how her world is. It just amazing, phenomenal job. And one actor returns, Cillian Murphy. He's in this one. He has a long, you know, track record acting. But for some of you, you'll remember him mostly, if you're, you know, the comic book fan, he was the Scarecrow in Batman movies. The recent ones, you know, with Christian Bale. He was the Scarecrow. Did a phenomenal job there. And this one, he did a phenomenal job in this one. Basically, this movie is basically picking up where the last one left off. But it also does a flashback to show how it all started. Creatures, basically, they're making the creatures look like they were aliens. And yes, this is a spoiler review if I didn't say that. So nobody get all in a tiff. Basically, these creatures are basically aliens. And they're blind, but they're have supersonic, hypersensitive hearing. And I remember I saw this one reviewer, this one comedian, Tony Baker, and he did a review of it, which was pretty hilarious. And he said, "What if these aliens are just cranky old men? They're like, shut up, y'all, this damn noise, shut up! Y'all making too damn noisy." And I was like, damn, he's making a good point. After I saw it, I'm like, damn, he's kind of right. Because it didn't really show the creatures eating people, just killing people. Now, I don't know if they kill them and then come back to later, stack them up, make themselves a sandwich, or they're just killing people because y'all is too damn noisy. So, it's kind of interesting. So, but anyway, movies did a phenomenal job picking up where it left off. The mom and the kids trying to survive, out there, and she got a new baby. Even the baby did an awesome job, hamming it up as well. And a baby in the apocalypse where you're trying to be quiet. If that doesn't add tension, wow. But even with the baby, that didn't trip me out more than them being more. To me, they were more noisy than the baby was. The baby's just being a baby. But that didn't really. I thought that would kind of get on my nerves the most, or freak me out the most. Like, y'all trying to be quiet, you got a baby, but not really. Probably because you expect that. But to me, they're the grown folks and the kids are being more noisy than the baby was. The baby's just being a baby. And that's another thing they didn't really point out or spend much time on. Okay, are you guys feeding the baby? How's the baby getting fed? It never really showed that either. Details, people, details. But probably that's not the focus. But anyway, so it did a flashback. I'm all over the place. I'm amped up. Coffee, people. Coffee. And I'm dropping shit. And it, like I said, did a flashback, and basically these creatures are aliens because it shows they're all in middle America, small town, baseball game. Everybody's living life. And at the game, it showed this big, explosion, like a comet meteor thing coming out of the sky that everyone saw. And then next thing you know, boom, creatures out of nowhere. And that scene, even the sometimes flashbacks can go wrong or be a little pointless or whatever. But it was perfect the way it was done. It was perfect. And then it goes back into modern time, just basically the mom and the kids trying to survive, and the daughter is just like the pops, smart. And even when they left the first house, she got the hearing aid, she went back and got the microphone, the speaker, and she has a map figuring out where everything is, just like a pop's daughter, and they come across this warehouse, and they made a noise, creatures after them. She used her hearing aid that has this high-pitched feedback that's like a freaking migraine to these creatures because they have supersonic hearing, basically. And that hits them, they start that noise, and mom, boom, blows the head off with the shotgun that she still has with her. Miracle. And they run into this warehouse, and where they end up getting snatched by somebody. Tells them, and the person has a mask on. Shh. Wearing a mask in the apocalypse. Social distancing. But I think in the apocalypse, the last thing you want to be worrying about is the coronavirus, seriously. But he got a mask on, so being safe. And which is kind of interesting that they did that. And it turns out the guy that snatched him is Cillian Murphy's character from when they were in that small town in the flashback. They're at the baseball game, and the daughter was teaching them about, how do say, he asked her, how do you say dive or slide, whatever, and she went like that, because they're at the game teaching the kids, So, and he has his little setup there, he has his little underground bunker type place where you can talk or whatever. But it turns out later on that he had a little spot upstairs in the warehouse too, where he had all his drawings of his family, even had his dead wife. Hey, some people can't let go. And so, but he's still going through shit because he lost his wife, he lost his kids, but Emily Blunt's character recognized him, and from the pastor and all that, but he's saying you guys can't stay here because he's still dealing with this shit, and the last thing he needs is people around him. But he's also warning them, the people out there, because they're trying to get to other people. They're trying to get to civilization. They're trying to survive. And she's showing that she has a baby now that, and she wanted to stay there. But he's saying, you guys can't stay. I got my own shit. Get away from me. I want to be isolated. Introvert at its peak. And he's like, okay, you guys can stay the night. But after that, you guys got to bounce. I ain't got room for you. Go on about your business. But again, the daughter wants to venture out more because there's also I forgot to include this, when they were running into the warehouse, the son steps in a bear trap. And that, to me, was probably the most heart-wrenching, intense moment, because it's like, again, you're in a world right now, you have to be quiet, and and a kid, not necessarily an adult, but a kid steps in a bear trap, and you're just like, oh, you're like, shut up, but you understand that this kid is not necessarily a tough adult. And man, that scene was just got me here. Got your boy here. But anyway, so he's injured and they're trying to attend to him. They got headphones on him. The sister put the headphones on to calm him, and he ends up hearing some music. And oh man, it escapes me now what the song was. Out by the Sea or something like that. And the daughter figures out that, okay, we got to go find where the signal is, because she's smart like a pops, but she's telling her brother her plan, but the brother doesn't want her to go, but she takes off anyway. The mom realizes she took off, and so she's trying to ask the dude for help to go get her daughter. He eventually does, finds the daughter, and she was almost in a bit of trouble too, was about to get jacked by a creature. But he ends up saving her. The mom's back home. She has to leave to go get supplies for her son, get oxygen. Not supplies, but medicine for the son. Get some more oxygen, because the oxygen is going down, because they put the baby in a little crate and put oxygen on it, because it's a little crate where they can keep the baby quiet and have a mask on him so he can breathe. And the son doesn't want her to leave. And Tony Breaker brought this up too, which is pretty funny. Because, black or white, if you're in a family and there's more than one kid and there's an oldest kid, they're going to babysit. That's just how it is. Old school, new school. If there's an older sibling, you're going to watch these kids. I got to run to the stove. Hold down the fort. Check y'all manners till I get back. That's just basically how it is. And that's real. That's just real. So while the mom is away trying to get supplies, son goes wandering out, leaves the baby down below. He goes up because he wants to venture out and see what's cracking. That's when he goes upstairs and sees all the drawings and paintings that the guy did, finds the dead wife, and he freaks out, makes a noise, gets the creature's attention, or the alien's attention, comes after him. So you got that happening. In the meantime, the sister's off with the dude. He agrees he's going to help her go get help. At one point, she thought she left him, but didn't. He went and said he found a boat, because he took her hearing aid and the thing, but he took it for the aliens. She thought she got left behind, but she didn't. He came back saying, I found a boat. So they venture off, find a boat, but they also come across some hillbilly, Walking Dead type people. Because he did say to her, when she found him, saying that, you go out there and there's people that, you don't want to help, because there's people out there that are just, they gone. Those are the kind of people you don't want to be around or even try to save. And he was right. So they eventually came across some hillbilly Walking Dead type folk, and I'm gonna go there inbred looking too, because they saw this little girl on the dock, and that's just cold one. You find an abandoned child on the dock crying, head down, looking like all the Ring ish. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's a trap. And General Akbar would say, "It's a trap." That's a trap. Kind of one of old Dave Chappelle's bits. There's a baby on a corner in the middle of the night. What? Yeah, you don't want to. No, no. But he thought it was a girl that needed help, but it was just a trap to bait them. The little girl wraps something around his neck. Hillbilly folk come out of nowhere. And they're about to take the girl. And he gives her a little sign to dive because he made some noise. Creatures coming. Starts swacking everybody. Actually, now that I think about it, like NBA players. Just long arm swatting everybody. Just swatting balls off the way. They just swatting people left and right. He dives into the water. So anyway, yes, I'm all over the place. Again, coffee people. So, but the movie is just very suspenseful. It's just awesome. You should go out and see it. And then they eventually was able to get to the boat after all that mayhem happened. The creatures coming out of nowhere, smacking everybody because they being noisy. Again, like my boy Baker says, y'all shut up. Y'all too damn noisy. I'm trying to sleep. And so they eventually get to this boat. They get to the island. And they find out when they get to this island, everybody is just living life. Nobody's being quiet. They have barbecues. They just living it up. Having cookouts. Everything. And that's where Jaimin Hunsu's character is. And trust me, and literally, he had 50 minutes of fame in this movie. Yeah. Yeah. And he tells a story what happened and how they ended up on the island, which is a very sad story. He said it started off with like 12 or 20 something boats, something like that. And people started screaming. The alien creatures came and 2 boats made it. That's sad, people. That's sad. So, and they living it up. And in the meantime, cut back. When the sun made that noise, alien creatures came, back at the warehouse. He's trying to get underground. He's hiding in that little furnace thing that they were hiding in on it a few times that I forgot to mention. Yeah, he had this, like you said, he has a little underground spot to go to hide when the creatures come. And has a little furnace you can hide and shut the door because it's pretty soundproof, but it's also airtight proof. And anytime they went in there to set a timer to let you know how much, oxygen you got left. Then you open it. But he shuts it, boom, it locks. Didn't put a towel or anything to keep it from shutting or the thing going down, locking. And he just shuts it, locks. He's stuck in there with the baby, oxygen slowly depleting. He's running out of air, so him and the baby, he's babysitting. They sharing oxygen. Mom comes back, see what's cracking, sees the creature. She hits the sprinkler, shoots the sprinkler thing, which makes a lot of noise, which disrupts the creature's hearing, which won't be able to determine which sound to go to. And it's a little Jaws reference in this movie too. For some of y'all old school folks that seen the movie Jaws, she had an oxygen tank sitting there on the ground. It's all raining. The creature's trying to determine where's the sound coming from when it's all this water raining down. Shoots the tank, blows up, thinking he killed the creature, but not really. Creature turns out to be fireproof. They're fireproof, but they can't swim. Because when he dove in the water, one of the creatures dove into the water to try to get at him, drowns. The thing can't swim. And that's what Jaimin Hunsu's character says. They realized the creatures couldn't swim. That's how they made it to the island, and they're all just living a dream there. So she goes down into the underground where her son and the baby is, and they realize they're in the little furnace thing with the door shut, opens it up, gets air to them. But the creature ends up coming down. because they finally figured out where the sound was coming from. Got down there to get at her and the kids, and she shuts the door, but has a little towel on it and all that. So you got the creature trying to get at them. They get to the island. Like I said, they get, but smash cut back to the island where the daughter and the guy is. And, Jama Hunsu. But turns out one of the creatures, and it kind of shows it earlier, one of the creatures was on the boat when all that commotion and the other creature was killing people, and one dove into the water. The other creature jumped on this boat, shut the fuck up, y'all too damn noisy. And the boat just starts floating off with the creature on it. And Cillian Murphy's character goes out to the beach, just looking at the sunrise and all that. Then he hears a noise. He has a picture of his drawing of his son he's looking at, but then he hears a noise, goes and look, and realizes it's the boat that one creature's on, because he sees the scratch marks on it. And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So he's running back to warn people, and he's yelling, "Get inside!" But too late. Creature comes out of nowhere, just starts smacking everybody left and right, just whooping whole rows of people's asses, foom, like Bill Burr said in one bit. The creatures come out just smacking everybody all over the place, looking like that bench climbing brawl, that NBA brawl that happened. So Jam and Hunsu, they put some kids in the closet, these two kids, and they go, he gets into a car, starts honking the horn. Cillian Murphy's character get in there, Millicent Reagan's character gets in there, they start driving off, the creature starts chasing after them, and they finally get to this place where it's like a radio station where the signal's been broadcasted with the music. And they get in there, of course. Jamin Hunsu, the last black man on earth, gets snatched up. But then my roommate points out, "Oh yeah, no, there was a black kid he put in the closet too." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay. He was the second last black man on earth, I guess." But so anyway, they get to the radio station where the music's playing that broadcasts out to people. It's really like a signal to let people know where they are. And that's what Jamin Hunsu said earlier, that it's a signal. And he said, "You got the signal." And he's like, "No, she figured it out." So they get to the radio station, and they're trying to, get in there to get so she can do the thing to let people know. But the creature gets in there, tries to get at him, and she finally does a hearing aid thing on the little microphone that broadcasts out, and the son, who's in the furnace with the mom and the baby, and the creature's trying to get at him, he has headphones on because he's listening to the music. Next thing you know, he hears a high pitch like, and he's like, "What that?" And he takes it off. Then he realizes, "Oh shit, that's my sister. She made it." So he takes the thing off, does a speaker thing at the creatures that's trying to get at him and his mom's. It starts having the migraine. Oh shit. Starts freaking out. And the creature that's trying to get at him in the radio station, same thing, starts bugging out. She stabs it in the head. The kid gets out of the furnace, getting all friggin', all Clint Eastwood-ish. Han Solo, blam, shot first. She stabs the creature in the head. The brother shoots the creature, takes it out, and that's kind of pretty much how the movie ends, because it's pretty much left it open for another one, a part 3, if they decide to go there, which I'm pretty sure they will. But I heard John Krasinski may not be directing it, so but he's still going to be a part of it if they decide to go there. So we have to wait and see. And yes, I know I was all over the place. Don't care. I'm amped up on, coffee here. But it was an awesome, phenomenal movie. Intense, thrilling, just... So, yes, get a chance, go check it out. Yes, this was a spoiler review, and I didn't say very much, but still, check it out. Go see it. Awesome film. Well done. So John Krasinski, he has a future with directing. If he decides to continue doing that, because directing can be a real tough job, as long as you have full control and not have to listen to other folks. That's why he probably doesn't want to direct the next one. But who knows his reasons? Who knows? Who knows? But still, it was a phenomenal, awesome movie. Suspenseful, thrilling, exciting, nail biting. There are times where it's just dead quiet in the theater, and you're just like, if you fart, you're like, oh, you're scaring half the people in your row. So, yeah. So anyway, go check it out. Quiet Place 2, awesome movie, awesome movie. So until next time, Hitman Thornton, Ferrari Action TV. Real quick, hit the subscribe, like button definitely, so I can get my stuff out to the masses. It'll definitely help your role model out here. So until next time, with Hitman Thornton, your favorite mother freaking role model, the Buddhist Wusan with an attitude, aka Mr. Wonderful, Ferrari Action T Vizzle. Until next time, peace out, biatches. And to remember, stay zen as fuck.